Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mihir Joshi, and welcome once again to the MJ Show live on Instagram. And today I have somebody who is an absolutely fantastic guest for this show. He's somebody who is I realize I actually known him for a very, very long time. We got to get into how we first met each other when I get him on on the show live in just a little while. He's going to join me in a little while, but he's done so many fantastic things over the last one decade. And just yesterday, I checked out on his Instagram handle, he posted about the fact that he has been selected to be in the list of 30 under 30 on the Forbes list, and not just for India but for Asia, which is such an incredible thing. So I'm going to be talking to him about that. I'm going to be talking to him about his music. At 14, he was Mr. Gay World, which is pretty incredible. I mean, if you think about it, and I'm extremely proud to know him and have him right here with me on the MJ Show. So, ladies and gentlemen, say hello to my dear friend Sushant Divgikar.
What's up?
How are you doing, man?
I'm very well. How are you doing?
I am doing really, really well, and it is fantastic to have you on the show with me. Firstly, before we talk about the rest of your journey and everything else, let me in person tell you congratulations, how awesome it is to know that you've been selected to be on that Forbes 30 under 30 list.
It is absolutely amazing, and it is even more special because my sister-in-law has just logged in. Hi, Richard.
Oh, awesome.
And I wouldn't have been able to do this without my family. I think my family has been so supportive of me, and right since when I came out to them, and even before that, I think my brother and I were given the option of being ourselves and our true authentic selves. And I think that is extremely important for anyone growing up with so much so much going on as a teenager, and then when you come out to your parents and then they're like, yeah, okay, so we know it's not a big deal. When I just told when I told my parents I'm gay, and then my dad was just like, okay, it's not a big deal. I was like, okay, is that a lot of drama? Because I thought there will be a lot of drama considering I'm extremely dramatic myself in my everyday life, but there was no drama. And my father just told me, you're not my straight son or my gay son, you're my son. Like your brother is also my son, and my older brother Karan, and he's straight, and so yeah, I was like,
that is awesome, man. But you know what? I have noticed in every interview of yours that I've ever seen how much love you've always shown towards your parents, and how obviously and evidently they love you back, and how much they care about you. And I think you are truly, I'm not going to say lucky, it's how it should be, where parents should love their kids no matter what, but you know it that it's not always the case. So I'm extremely happy for you that you've got such fantastic parents, and if they are watching this wherever they are, I want to say I'm so proud of you guys, and lots of love to the two of you, your parents, that is,
Thank you, and I will definitely show them this once you post it. I'll repost it. It's really, it's wonderful, and you're a dad now, and
yeah, man,
you know that.
I absolutely do. I mean, now that I am a father, and I have a baby who's about 19 months old, I realize that all I really want for him is that he should be happy. Everything else is secondary. I mean, his decisions, his choices, whatever they are, however they are going to be, all I want is that he's happy and he's going to have my love and support no matter what. And I think it's a fantastic feeling being a parent. I can imagine how your father must have felt, like you said, when you came out to him, and I can almost imagine that the overwhelming feeling for him must have been his love for you over any other fears, of what the society will think, log kya kahenge, and all that. I don't think that was important, and that's awesome, man. I'm very happy for you.
And I keep getting a lot of messages, and as artists, I perform for the audience. I perform for an applause. I'm not going to lie and say I do this for myself, but I honestly do this to make other people happy, and in the process, I'm happy myself. But the thing is that there's a lot of people that will still say something nasty and troll you, or say something which is unnecessarily negative. And to them, I just need to this is what my mom told me, is that pay them bitches no mind if those bitches don't pay your bills. And that's
That is badass, man.
And I mean, why should I, adhere to your, and majorly a lot of times you see that a lot of men are, like who are the victims of toxic masculinity, are the ones that make fun of another man that is not in their, doesn't fit in their idea of a man. Now, who
Yeah,
has
that definition of
made these
man.
ideas? So I'm like, first of all, if you're homophobic, I don't know what you're scared of. Considering, when people say that, oh my God, you're so gay. I'm like, I'm not gay. I'm the gayest. Get your shit together. First. And second, I should be scared of you because have you seen, like, I don't understand how some men think that every gay man is out there to, or is sexually attracted to each and every man out there. Like, what do you guys, what? I mean, have you seen this? I am probably not going to be attracted to you. And I live in Bandra West. So if you live somewhere around here, we can have a conversation. If you want me to be shady, I can. But I'm not going to because I'm a nice person, genuinely, generally. But I don't understand people that just make show someone down to kind of look better than them. It's just crazy. I mean, like, welcome to 2020. We're not we shouldn't live under a rock, and I think everybody should be allowed to do and allowed to be who they are and who they want to be. Because again, you and I are not paying their bills, and so if they're not harming us in any way, and
Correct.
what two adults do in the confines of their bedroom is should be up to them.
Yeah, honestly, whether it's in the bedroom or wherever it is, as long as the two consenting adults, what difference does it make to somebody else? I mean, that's how I believe people should think. I mean, it doesn't matter. See, you know what? This is what really bothers me sometimes when I think about it. Like you just said, where every man thinks that every other gay man is, like wanting them or, thinking about every other man. It's almost as if, the same men think that every woman out there should also want them, because, that doesn't work like that, right? I mean, every girl, for every straight guy, it's not like every straight girl is saying, wow, that is that guy and that guy and that guy and that guy. I want all of those guys.
Yeah,
It doesn't work like that.
Just imagine if every woman had to, just generalize and say that all men are bastards.
So
And
cool.
I'm like, no, and that's not cool as well, right? So
Yeah.
I think people need to understand that. And if they don't, we're not here to change everybody's mind and perspective, but I think, you put yourself out there, and whoever wants to change their perspective about whatever, about, a certain aspect, then they can. And if they don't, it's not like, you're not going to be any less fabulous, or you're going to be any less yourself. So I think that my mother has joined in. My mother is here. My mom
Hello.
My mom
How are you,
is
auntie?
here. Yes. So yeah, I don't know how good she is with Instagram, but she's on this live. I can see that she's.
That is fantastic, man. Well, listen, let's talk about, your talent, your music. I was just telling people before you came live that we've actually known each other for a really, really long time. If you look at it, I mean, the
Yes.
first time we met each other was, I guess, at least a decade ago, right? Over a decade ago, I guess.
Yes. Yeah. And when I was in college, I think when I was singing for the university, for the Mumbai University vocal, the vocal
Yeah.
finale for the solo
Correct.
singing, and you were one
Correct.
of the judges.
I was one of the judges. Yeah, man.
So yeah.
I didn't catch the last time.
So I
Yeah,
think it's been that long. Yeah, it's been quite a while. It's been about.
But you know
a
what?
decade.
I've seen the things that you've done since then, and it is astounding. I want to tell you how proud I am of you, and how much love I feel for everything that you've been able to do in your career so far. I mean, apart from the fact that, okay, you came out, you went on to become Mr. Gay World, the music that you made. I recently saw you perform, I think it was last year at that, what was it, Music India or Music Inc. or some one of those shows that you
Music
rank.
Yeah.
Music
Yes.
Inc. And you know what? I honestly, when you started singing, because that was the first time I saw you as Rani Ko-He-Nur. I had not seen you before that. And when I saw you perform, I did not realize it is you. Because you looked fabulous and you were singing so brilliantly.
Yeah.
And the only thing in my mind was, oh my God, what is this voice? How is this guy going to the highest of high notes and then singing so, flawlessly in deep male voice, vocals as well? And I was blown away. And then, when they announced who you were, and I realized, holy shit, I know Sushant, and I came and met up with you, and that was the first time we met after quite a few years, and I was blown away, man. And my main objective of talking to you right now is not just the fact that you are an activist and you are a gay icon, and you've stood for something really, really important in your life, but very frankly for the fact that you are one of the most talented people I have met, and I think you are fantastic, and I want you to be making a lot more music and putting it out there because people deserve to hear your voice.
Yes, yes, and I'm working on a lot of music actually, and sitting at home. My band also comprises of some very talented musicians. So I think we're just all sitting and sort of conceptualizing as to how we put out our music. So that's going to be on the charts very soon.
So let's talk about the two singles that you put out. What was it in 2017?
In 2019.
Love and Love is Love, and the other one was, what was the other one?
I'm Coming Out.
Yeah, I'm Coming Out. Yeah, the two songs that you put out back then. Tell me a little bit about that.
How 2019. 2019. That was
2019. Sorry, yes, 2019. So tell me a little bit about the making of those two songs.
So I met this Swedish composer, and he kind of contacted me and he said that, I want to kind of explore the LGBT community and artists within the LGBT community, which are very few that are out there and out of the closet and pursuing their dreams. And so then I just kind of, he messaged me on Instagram, and then I followed up with him. And this was back in 2017 when he messaged me. He came, we conceptualized and we sat and jammed and stuff like that on these songs. And 2018 is when we shot it and we recorded it. And 2019 is when he released it.
Nice.
So, yeah, and his name is Peter Wallenberg, and it was amazing to work with him, because and then I got to perform my first international gig as Rani in front of about 2 million people in Stockholm.
Wow.
So that was amazing, and I shared the stage with the Weather Girls. It's raining men, hallelujah, and the Village People.
Oh wow, okay.
And this stage was amazing because it was at Stockholm Pride, and the likes of Cher have performed there. So
amazing.
It was something else for me. So yeah.
I can imagine that was something fantastic. So you know what, before we talk a little bit more about your life and all the things that you've done, can we hear you sing a little bit? I'm sure everybody who's watching us, by the way, there have been a lot of people who've been saying hi to you. There's a lot of love coming your way in the comments I'm seeing. So everybody who's joined us, thank you very much for being here with us. There's Ria, there is Ashwini, there is Nehal, there is Sushma, there is Wanderlust Guy, 1397, Pranay, Krunal. So for Kuntal Music, sorry, for everybody who's watching in right now, let's get Sushant.
The Sobo guys, love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. And yeah, my mom.
So Sushant, yeah, let's hear you sing something.
Avika is here. Hi, Avika. Okay. What should I sing? Should I sing something in Hindi? Is that okay?
Yeah. Absolutely. We, in fact, after we sing in Hindi, we can even switch the language of our entire conversation to Hindi. I'm completely cool with that.
All right, cool. रात में ही जागते हैं ये गुनाहों के घर, इनकी राहें खोले बाहें जो भी आए इधर. ये है गुमराहों का रास्ता, मुस्काने झूठी है, पहचाने झूठी है, रंगीन है छाई फिर भी है तन्हाई. कल इन्हीं गलियों में, इन मसली गलियों में तो एक धूप थी, सबको तलाश यही समझे ये काश कोई आ ये है गुमराहों का रास्ता मुस्कान झूठी है.
My God, that was fantastic, man. You know, honestly, it blows my mind every time you do that. You know, you go from your falsetto to your regular, you know, to your masculine voice. That's just incredible. But there was an interesting question that happened while you were singing. Madhura, who is based, I think, out of France, asked. Firstly, said you got such an incredible voice. She's mind blown, and she said, "Who is your drag idol? Who do you really look up to in that perspective?"
I absolutely love Bianca Del Rio because she's one of the best drag queens and so funny. Oh my god, hilarious, very spontaneous. I love Bianca Del Rio. I always also like Violet Chachki, and I've had the pleasure of performing with her 3 times in my life. And it's amazing. She's one of the best drag queens in the world, and I did my drag debut with Violet, and I would also say I really like a drag king, and his name is Landon Sider,
Okay.
and I love him as well. So yeah, these are some of my favorite drag artists. And RuPaul, of course. How can you forget RuPaul? RuPaul
Yeah.
Charles, Mother Ru, of course.
So you know what? I gotta ask you a question for let's say the uninitiated. You know, the people who don't really understand the world that you live in. Uh, why don't you know try to explain to somebody what it is? Why is it that you know you do what you do? How do you relate with being a drag queen? Why do you want to do that? Why did you do that for yourself? If you don't mind me asking you that.
Yeah, I think that art has no boundaries. Art should not be restricted to gender, to orientation, to gender stereotypes, especially, and to change the. Sorry, I lost you for a bit. I said
Nah, I
that
got you
I was
back.
saying it's very essential that you know that we kind of show our authenticity, and I honestly actually wanted to challenge the gender norms and say that if a man or if someone who is born male wants to perform as a woman, and that's a performing art. So
Yeah.
and if he does a good job at it, he's supposed to be looked at as a good artist, as opposed to the first thing about someone is not their orientation. You don't walk into a room and say, "Hi, I'm Mihir and I'm straight," you know. So we should not be made to feel like that either, because the thing is that there are a lot of us that are extremely talented, and then we'd rather talk about that than our orientation. And there is a lot more to a person than them just being a woman, a man, Hindu, Muslim, male, female, transgender. There's so much more to someone. That's not the first thing I say. Hi, I'm Sushant and I'm gay, or I'm a drag queen. That's not important. Hi, I'm Sushant, and it's lovely to make your acquaintance, to meet your acquaintance. I would say that, and I think people need to understand that. Artists are human beings as well, and we have emotions, we have feelings, and that we let our art speak for itself, and we kind of
Yeah.
also why I started doing drag is because I wanted to. I think females are the best creations of that we have, that we should celebrate, respect, and for me, when I get into drag and I impersonate a woman as a drag queen, I think that it's a privilege that I get to do that, because I can embody a woman. And
Yeah.
as we have in the Hindu mythology, we have Shiv Shakti, and I think that is the synergy of the male and female energy, and I think I kind of embody that, and that's if that makes someone uncomfortable, then they should question their own sexuality.
Yeah.
I don't know why it makes people uncomfortable when there is a gay person or a transgender person on the in the room. I think it's very essential to understand that everybody should be respected for who they are and their space. So I think that I honestly think it's extremely important to realize that as artists, we must be true to ourselves. You know, there's a lot of
Yeah.
there's a lot of artists I know that have sold their soul and are miserable, and I think that they don't get to do what they want to do. That's never going to be the case with me. So even if my journey is a little more tiresome and it's a little more it's a little tougher, I don't mind, because I will be creating a sort of a parameter and breaking boundaries so that the next generation after me doesn't have to see it this tough, you know. So
That's
I'll be
awesome,
using
man.
it.
That is really cool. I mean, you are a pioneer in a very very believable way because okay, while you're not the first person to be in drag in India or the first gay person who's come out in India, you are definitely a pioneer and you are helping, like you said, the next generation of young men, women to accept themselves for who they are, gay, straight, bisexual, however you want to be. You're just making it okay for people to say that this is me and I'm happy being me. You know, I was just realizing when you talked about how you want to be an artist, you want to express your talent the way you want to, like to be able to do it as a woman when you are in drag. I just realized one thing: if you go back into Marathi theater, one of the most
Yes,
incredible voices of the Marathi theater who's still revered today is Bal Gandharva. And if you realize, if you saw his
absolutely.
biopic as well, he essentially wore women's clothes and performed on stage. And he was the fashion icon of that time. Women wanted to wear what he was wearing. He was well known for his perfumes and his dress and his style. And but most importantly, he was known for his voice because he was incredible. He was an amazing singer, and that's exactly the way they think of you. You know, I mean, even when you're whether you're dressed as a man or you're dressed as a woman, you've got an incredible talent. You've got a great voice, and I think that's something that people should recognize and not be intimidated by how you choose to package the
Yeah.
container from which they are
Never judge a book
getting
by
that
its
talent.
cover.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
I'm just
you
gonna
know what?
say.
Tell
I'm
me a
just
little
gonna.
bit about.
Can we just?
Sorry.
Sorry. Can we just say hi to everybody? I don't know. There's. Okay. I'm just gonna just see these
Yes,
messages that are
let's say hi
coming
to
in.
the people here. Lots of
Yeah.
people
Do you
have
want
come
to take
in.
that?
Yeah, go
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
Okay. So there is Ankit Pandya. Hi, Ankit. And then there is MJ underscore Olala France. Okay, I got to write these names down. Yeah, they are absolutely amazing. KJ Abhi, thank you so much. Ria's life. What's the difference between a drag king and a drag queen? We'll get there. And where? Hi, Sushant. Nice to see you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Subhi Music beautifully said thank you. My sister-in-law, my mom. Urzan, the worst happens when the people from the LGBT community judge other LGBT people. But that's people, right? Like, that's exactly what I said, you know, and if they're not paying your bills, let them judge you. At least they're talking about you. So
Yep.
it's great. You know, you keep them entertained. So that's that. And yeah. Uh, yes. And so hi to everybody that's just joining in. And yeah, the difference between a drag king and a drag queen is essentially when you're a drag queen, you impersonate or you embody a woman. Um, Usually, it is a hyper effeminate woman. Like, and drag can be done by anybody. You don't have to be male, female. You could be male, female, transgender, gender neutral, gender fluid. You could be a man. You could be a woman. Like Mihir could do drag, and he could be straight and a man and do drag, and hyper accentuate his masculinity and be a drag king as well. But usually what we see in pop culture is that men dressing up as women and performing as women is considered uh, as someone who's a drag queen. But even a trans woman can be a drag queen. A trans man can be a drag king. Uh, a straight man can be a drag king, and a cisgender male can be a drag king as well. So it's there are multiple possibilities, and which is why we say that drag has no boundaries. Performing art has no boundaries. So you can be
Yeah.
whoever you want to be and be absolutely amazing in your own skin. Whatever makes you feel comfortable. Drag has no rules. There's no drag university that one graduates from. So, so if somebody tells you that what you're doing is not drag, well, you just like flip your hair and be like, if you don't like it, you could just make your way out of this show. But I'm gonna be myself. So
Yeah. I love how somebody here, Urzan underscore Mua, has just quoted you right now. And I love that. That should be like the pinned post. The pinned, what do you call it? Comment over here for the rest of this conversation. But really cool. But listen, before we wrap up for today, and I want to get you back on the show when the lockdown is over, where we can sit down beside each other and chat a little bit more and not worry about the internet lag that we are getting over here on Instagram Live. But before we go, I got to ask you about Rani Ko-He-Nur. Tell me how you found her and tell me how happy you are that she's now a part of your life.
I'm extremely happy that I pursued my dreams and got into drag. My debut as a drag queen, as a drag performer, was in the in Merchant of Venice, where I did my stage debut, my stage debut with, and I had the good fortune of romancing 3 absolutely wonderful men on stage, which everybody would die for. So that was an amazing debut, and I kind of debuted with Jim Saab, Neil Bhupalam, and Luke Kenny. So I was, I was the center of attention. I was the center of tension because they were all fighting for me on the stage. And but then after that, in 2007, and then after that, 2015 and 16, I hosted this international film festival in drag, which is called Kashish Film Festival. And from there, I got a call to come and perform in drag by Mr. Keshav Suri, and who's the executive director of the Lalit Hospitality Group. And that's when I met Violet Chachki and I performed with her. And after that performance, Keshav was like, you have to do drag. You can't not do drag. You're amazing. And then I was like, are you serious? So he was like, yeah, give it a shot. I mean, you sing so well, you just sing, just sing. And but we'll need a drag name for you. So he's the one who coined Rani Ko-He-Nur. He's like, Rani because you're the queen, and Ko-He-Nur. Ko-He-Nur has an H-E because I'm a queen, but I'm also a boy after the wig is taken off and stuff. So there's a little wordplay in that.
I saw that.
Also because the Ko-He-Nur is the most precious jewel in the world.
Diamond, yeah. Brilliant. I mean, that's really, really cool. And you know what, again, I got to tell you how incredibly proud I am of you and how amazing it is to see all the things that you've done, to be on a reality show and sing in drag. I remember seeing that video that you shared a few days ago on Saregamapa, right? You had sung over there.
Yes.
That must have been an incredible moment for so many young people all across the country to see.
That was something else. That was just, it's going to be in my memory forever. It's going to be one of my most precious memories. So, yeah. And that was the first time that any LGBT contestant in the history of Indian reality TV got a golden buzzer. So, yeah, I was like, okay, thank you.
That is awesome, man. That is really, really good. No, but awesome. I mean this. I mean how incredibly happy I am for you, and congratulations on getting on the Forbes list. That must have been an incredible feeling too, right? I mean, everybody's been on your Instagram telling you how proud they are of you, but for you to be able to achieve that, you're turning 30 in what, 6 months? 5 months? No. When? 3 months. Man, you just like last moment.
It's so timed. It's like perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. So,
but
yeah, and I'm also entering my old age. But as they say, you get wiser.
Hey.
Dirty 30.
I'm 39. I'm not old, okay? I just turned 39 like 15 days ago, and I'm not old at all. So you're not getting into your old age. It's like wine. You get better with age, It's not turning old. It's just getting better.
Well, thank you. I'll take that. I'll take anything that's sweetly said. I'll take it.
You know what? Let's end the show with another performance. Let's have one more song by you before we wrap up for the day.
Okay.
For everybody who's watching in, because there are so many people who've been commenting since we last started talking. So for everybody who's been commenting, listen, even if we can't address everybody's comments, I promise you, I will check out all your comments once the live is saved. Speaking of which, once the live is saved here, over here it stays only for 24 hours. But I'll be downloading this video and it'll be up on the YouTube channel of the MJ Show, which is youtube.com/the MJ Show. Subscribe to that so that you can watch this video any point of time. Speaking of YouTube, Sushant, you have a YouTube channel as well for your music?
I haven't yet posted a lot of stuff on it, but I am on. Once I get my originals in place, is when I'm going to really launch the channel. So that's when
Brilliant.
I will call you up, and then maybe you can help me with that.
For sure, but right now, follow Sushant on Instagram. Look out for him on Facebook as well. Make sure you're following him. Show him all the love that you can, because honestly, we all, as his friends, as his fans, as people in India, should be incredibly proud of what he is doing. And I'm telling you, truly, man, this is fantastic that you've been able to do everything that you've been able to do, and may you go from strength to strength. And like I said, once the lockdown is over, you got to come on my show proper. We'll sit down and we'll play we'll do some songs and we'll chat a little bit more. But right now, what are you going to end the show with? What are you going to sing for us?
I'll sing one of my mom's favorite songs. It's called Aaiye Meherbaan. This is quite ironic because I'm leaving, but I'll sing the song. Okay. Aaiye Meherbaan, बैठिए जाने जा, शौक से लीजिए जी इश्क की इंतहा, आइए मेहरबान, देखा मचल की जिधर, बिजली गिरा दी उधर, किसका जलाशिया, बिजली को ये क्या खबर, आइए मेहरबान. Thank you.
That was fantastic, man. That was absolutely fantastic. You know what? We were just thinking about how long this episode would be, and I told him that let's just go by the flow. And do you realize we've already been talking for over half an hour, and I feel like we can talk for another half an hour. But for now, we'll end it at this, because internet, and there you go. As I say this, there are internet scenes happening with Sushant right now. But you know what? Keep showing him all the love that you can. I'm hoping that he comes back and says goodbye to everyone and doesn't just automatically get logged out of here. But keep showing him all the love. Follow him on Instagram, follow him on Facebook, and when he's up on YouTube, follow him over there as well. Sushant, I'm sorry. You can see the internet's kind of wonky, and unfortunately Sushant has left the conversation. Let me see if I can get him back on again. I guess I can't, but we will get one more person on today. I told you guys that I'm going to be going live with a fantastic young singer. Sushant embodies the message which is very subtly given in her song. Basically, it doesn't matter if you're a man, if you're a woman, if you are black, white, gay, straight, however it is, you should be allowed to love. You have the right, you have the choice to love who you want to love. And this is very beautifully, subtly yet beautifully talked about in her song. Her name is Subhi. She is based out of Chicago, and I'm going to get her on right now. I'm going to talk to her about her new song. And for everybody who is watching in right now, hey Subhi, how are you?
Hi, Mihir.
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you. You too, and good to hear you live yesterday. I mean, your performance was really, really nice.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. But you know what? I got to tell you guys something. Before I chat with Subhi, like I said, unfortunately, Sushant had to log out very abruptly. I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to him. But for everybody who's watching and who's a Sushant fan, thank you very much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the two songs that he did. Fortunately, the songs went out flawlessly and everything went out really, really nicely. Follow him. And if you missed watching this live, well, if you're here, you're watching it live. But if you missed the first few minutes or whatever, the interview will be put up in its entirety on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/the MJ Show. Subscribe to it. Not only will you get to see Sushant, but you'll get to see a ton of other interviews that I've done with a lot of fantastic singers. Now, Subhi, now that I've got you on, I'm sorry I did this long monologue and I kept you waiting. Let's talk about your brand new song, which is Mehfil, right?
Sure. So before that, I just want to say that, oh my God, Sushant was so amazing. Like, his voice is incredible. And I was amazed by how he would switch from, a male to a female voice. And like, that totally blew my head. I was just like, wow. I have to say that.
I got to tell you too, when I saw him do that, I mentioned it in the interview as well. I saw him do that in person last year at an event that was happening in Mumbai. I was dumbstruck. My jaw fell down. I was like, how is this guy doing it? Because I knew that this was somebody in drag. So this was a man singing, but then his falsettos are so flawless. I literally have not seen a single other Indian singer whose falsettos are that pristine. It's just unbelievable. And as a male singer myself, I know it's difficult to master getting a falsetto, or even to just get a falsetto. And then for him to do it that effortlessly, it's just unbelievable. And then the transition from falsetto to like a deep baritone voice, it's amazing. Anyhow, now that our mutual appreciation for Sushant is over, let's talk about your song.
Sure. So this is a song which actually released today. It's called Mehfil, and it's a song about love. And honestly, the song is a very simple message that everyone should be free to love who they want to love, because love is love, and we should respect everyone's decisions on who they want to love. And the idea is just love unconditionally, and that's really what this song is about. That's what we also tried to show in our music video.
So, I love the music video. I love how subtle it is. I got to see the video a little while ago. Apart from showing you and your fantastic musicians in the video, you show different people. Just like literally, it's like they get to see this part, just my face, or they get to see the hands, and like it's very subtle. But I love how, in its subtlety, you're able to convey a very beautiful and deep message. And why did you choose to do it that way? Why not be a little more open about showing what you want to show?
So
just a question from an artistic standpoint. I mean, you're of course free to choose to do the song that way, but why? What was your thought process behind the video? How did you go about that?
So the thing is that I actually got one of my really good friends, Pulke Datta, to come on board and do this video with me, and we both really very strongly believe in this message. And the idea was actually to get different people from different backgrounds, and we didn't want to actually give a full picture ki ye kaun hai. The idea was not ki the idea was just that, okay, this is an African American, this is an Asian person, this is an Indian person, this is a Caucasian person, and then it's guy, girl, girl, guy. But we wanted it to be left to people's imaginations. So jab haath bhi dikhte hain, when two people are holding hands, we want you to imagine who you think it is. It could be two girls. Yeah, it could be two guys, but we are never showing them together. So a lot of those artistic decisions were made with Pulkit, because he also wanted to shoot it in a way, because I think जो मेरा गाना है उसकी first few lines है, थोड़ा सा मतलब ही है दिल, तुम ही की बात मुझसे छुपाए, समझी नहीं है मेरी खताएं, but थोड़ा सा दिल ये बेवफाए. So the idea of those lines is basically कि lots of times we love someone but we are in denial, and we don't know if this is right or if this is not. And it could be because of gender, it could be because of religion, it could be because of race, or it could just be like, for whatever reason, you don't know if this is like crossing boundaries and all that. And that's really what the very subtly I'm trying to get that across through the song, nice. Because I didn't want to hit someone with a hammer either. I was like, ye gana hai, imagine it how you want to. And then the way we've done it is that each person can imagine as per their own stories how they want it to be. Is it a guy girl, is it a girl girl, is it a guy girl, who you think goes nice with who. We just wanted it to be left to the audience and not have to dictate how love should be seen.
I like that. That's really, really nice. So can I hear you sing a little bit of the song?
Yeah, so I was going to play an acoustic version on keys, so let me
oh, how cool. Let's go for it now. If you want, you can turn the camera around a little bit so that we can see your piano as well and see a little bit of you.
I will try.
हाँ, अभी सिर्फ piano दिखेगा, आप तुम नहीं दिखोगे हमें. हाँ, ऐसे रखो. हाँ, this is fine. So we get to see a bit of you and we get to see a little bit of your piano as well. There you go.
Okay. So so this is Mehfil. थोड़ा सा मतलबी है दिल, तुम ही की बात मुझसे छुपाए, समझी नहीं ये मेरी खता, पर थोड़ा सा दिल ये बेवफा है, राहों में खोली हवा, खिड़कियों से झांकती कुछ निगाह, तुम भी हो मैं यहाँ किससे दास्तां, ये गलियां अकेली है खड़ी और हवा भी चुप सी है बड़ी इस महफिल में तारे नहीं पर तुम हो तो ये दिल बहल जाएगा सोनी सोनी सी लग रही है ज़मीन कश्तियां भी पानी में थम गई कुछ भीगा सा है ये आसमान पर तुम हो तो ये दिल बहल जाएगा.
That was very nice. And Savita Marwa tells you she really liked it. And a whole bunch of people who've joined us right now after you came on have been complimenting you for how beautiful your voice is and how they love the song. They're asking, I think somebody requested for a song. I don't think we're going to get time for a request. But you know what? Listen, before you leave, tell people a little bit. I just got you in out of the blue and we started chatting about your new song. But give people a little bit of an idea about who you are and what you do. And of course, now they'll get to see your new song. By the way, for people who've not checked out her video, just a little while ago, I put up a story with a picture of hers and I've given you a swipe up link. You can swipe it up. You can go to Subhi's YouTube channel as well and check out the video. And when I put up this video on my YouTube channel, on the MJ Show channel, I'll give you a link to her video in the info section as well. So do check out her music video, which is a beautifully done music video. And it's a lovely song, which we just got to hear a little bit right now. So Subhi, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, thanks firstly for all the kind words. So I'm a singer-songwriter. I'm based in Chicago. And I've been writing and singing in Hindi for a very long time, but I've only done shows in the US. I haven't performed in India yet. And I think that's also a reason why people don't know about me. My first album was in Hindi jazz. I worked with jazz musicians in Chicago and I learned so much from them, improv and stuff. And is gaane mein bhi thoda wo improv hai. I get into
End mein jo hai.
I get into that a little later in the song. And I've been, basically like I write songs about what I feel and every song is very personal to me and every song has a little story behind it. So yeah, check out my album, check out my songs. And if you guys like it, please subscribe. I really hope I can come to India and perform live. I think that would be amazing. So that's on my list of things.
I would love to see that happen too. I want to wish you all the very best for Mehfil. I think it's a beautiful song and I hope it reaches out to a lot of people. And I hope the beautiful message that you have in the song also reaches out to a lot of people. And thank you very much once again for joining me in this chat. We literally planned it like last moment, but I'm really happy that she could be here with me and sing for all of you guys. So for everybody who's joined in right now, thank you very much for joining us. Please follow Subhi on Instagram, on Facebook, and subscribe to her YouTube channel as well. Subhi, any final message that you want to give everybody watching it right now? You know what? I love the fact that we've already spoken for about 45 minutes, and in 45 minutes, we did not mention quarantine, coronavirus, or anything related to that. And that's exactly what I wanted to do with the MJ Show on Instagram. And I've been doing it every day because I wanted, even if it's for half an hour or 45 minutes, people stop thinking about the fact that they are in quarantine or that there is a global pandemic happening right now. Not to run away from it, but just to escape for a little while and find solace in music. So thank you very much for giving people that today by singing your song.
Thank you for inviting me. I mean, this is huge. Like, you have such amazing artists and it's a pleasure to be on the MJ Show, and I really appreciate this opportunity. So thank you so much, and I hope everyone stays safe. Please spread love, and love is unconditional, so love without conditions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much all the time we have for now. I want to say a big thanks to my first guest for today, Sushant Divgikar. If you're not following him everywhere, you should be following him. And a big thanks to Subhi as well. And a big thanks to everybody who's joined us today. You could have been anywhere on the internet, not outside, anywhere on the internet watching a whole bunch of other people doing things live, but you chose to be here with me, and I appreciate that. Good night, take care, stay safe, wash your hands, and I'll see you soon.